We are two guys playing Zelda, and this is our video walkthrough for the first dungeon in Ocarina of Time, and it is the Great Deku Tree.
And this is our first 3D dungeon that we're doing with commentary. Actually, it's our first 3D dungeon and our first 3D dungeon with commentary.
Indeed, indeed.
And in my opinion, this is the best Zelda game. So
it is between this and A Link to the Past. It's a coin toss.
Both great games.
Very great games. It doesn't matter if you prefer the top-down 2D or the first 3D, but they made the transition to 3D so well.
They did. They really did. It's a pretty cool first dungeon. It's something kind of like unique. Like, this great tree has power over everything. You go inside, you kind of kill off all these enemies and everything, but he ends up dying in the end anyway. So kind of just a good start. Yeah. Well, yeah. But, kind of just a good start to the whole game.
Yeah, and you honestly get to this dungeon very early in the game. I believe you're in this dungeon within the first.
It's right outside the forest. Yeah, it's right outside the forest. You have to go get the swords. All you gotta do.
Sword and shield.
Yep. Actually, I don't even. Oh, wait, do you even need a shield? I think you do need a shield. I think you do need a shield, and apparently I felt the need to save right there for some reason.
Always a good idea before going into a dungeon. Anyway, just in case.
In case we have a bad run, that's what we should say. In case we have a bad run, we need to redo it.
But I will say this dungeon was a great introduction to some of the 3D puzzles that you start running into as you get into the 3D games.
The Z targeting.
Oh, Z targeting is
which I choose not to use right there. So.
Deku Nuts, a great weapon all throughout. They stun your enemies so you can hit them with your sword, and as we find out later on, they will actually kill a few enemies.
A weapon that I never actually used, but as I've been watching other walkthroughs, I've realized that they actually are pretty beneficial to use. You kind of just gotta know how to use them and what circumstances to use them.
Yep. I really like this dungeon as a good introduction to a 3D dungeon because there's levels to it. There's a sense of up and down. Verticality.
Yeah.
I guess is that a word?
Exploration. Yeah.
There you go. You got ladders. There's places you can jump off of, and that's something that was not hardly present anywhere in the 2D top-down Zelda games.
And I think it's very big for the first 3D dungeon maps. Pretty easy to get though here, obviously, but introducing kind of like your idea there, the first 3D dungeon, introducing levels to it.
Yep, I mean you got vines you can climb, ladders you can climb, platforms you can jump off of, and that's all stuff that they couldn't do before this game.
Like I said, a very easy, simple dungeon. Oh God!
Easy and simple as you jump off an edge for no reason.
Easy and simple, but it gets the job done. So.
And it is a great introduction to 3D Zelda, that is for sure.
Not so sure about the music on it, but I about missed that one too, man. I knew I didn't, but Navi, and she will continue to bother you throughout the rest of the game.
Her addition was.
Hey, listen.
Yeah, it is very annoying. She's great for the Z targeting, but beyond especially in these first few dungeons, it's every 5 seconds.
It's nonstop. That and the stupid owl.
But we'll get to him later on.
Deku Scrub, just use your shield right here. Well, they'll use it better than that, but.
Yep, and if you get close enough to him, he disappears and won't come back up. So you use your distance, deflect his own projectiles back at him, and then you attack him or charge him. They give you hints. I mean, if you've played the game before, they're not that useful. But for someone who's never played
them,
that too. For someone who's never played one of these games, though, it's
very helpful. It's very helpful. Well, even when I went back and played this a second or third time, there's still little things if you read them, you pick up on that you might not have known before. So I mean, they're still kind of helpful a little bit.
Or if you go back to play it for the first time in years.
Yes. It's like a whole new game when you go back for that one.
Yeah, it is.
I think maybe we're already getting a compass right here. I think so. I think we get the compass pretty early. Oh, no, slingshot. All right. Always a cool weapon.
Yep, your first real projectile weapon in the game. It will let you shoot obviously enemies far away, enemies high above or low below you. Very handy. It's kind of a substitute for, in previous games, you got the bow.
Yeah.
It was one of your first weapons.
Yeah.
The boomerang maybe.
Yeah, and you get the bow later in the game, which really the bow's not necessary. I like kind of a simple weapon right here at the beginning. I kind of like that idea.
Especially since you're playing young Link right now. Just goes to show you how little we use the Deku Nuts in here that he's just now equipping them.
Yeah. We can't use the nuts until you have the slingshot, right?
No, I mean the nuts.
The big ones. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you want to shoot the ladder down right here to Be able to climb it.
Yep, and that's a great, just like we said,
And then shoot the wall, just shoot the floor again, just for no reason.
for no good reason. But like I said, that's a good introduction to a fun like 3D puzzle.
Yeah. And I don't know the first time I played this, but that was probably a little bit difficult to figure out the first time I actually played this game, because like in '98, I got this game when it first came out. I mean, this is a whole new kind of ball game, I guess you could say. It's like these kind of puzzles and stuff.
Yep. And you got to use that slingshot to get some of these enemies out of your way, because you have to climb these mountains.
And when you climb them, they will come towards you.
Yep. So it's always good to look up and see how many you're dealing with. And you see how Navi there goes towards the enemies. You can Z-target them to where you don't have to automatically...
If you're close enough. If you're close enough. Yeah, they had like the arrow over them or everything. But they like that top one, I don't think you can Z-target.
Yeah. And that's a lot easier than trying to manually target, especially if you have moving enemies.
Yes.
And you'll see later on how important Z-targeting really is.
If you never played this game or you haven't played in a long time, get used to Z-targeting, because it is huge.
And it is a heck of a lot easier than trying to manually aim either the
slingshot.
The slingshot in this one, or the boomerang, or the bow later on, or the hook shot later on. Now,
and I think here
time to get across these platforms, of course.
I think here we get the compass, maybe.
Oh, it's a big chest. It's got to be.
Because they don't have the boss key, I don't think, in earlier temples. They might not have them. I think they do have them in later temples.
I think you have them in the later temples. Yes, not. In the
I think the boss key gets introduced in the Dark World, if I'm correct.
You get the Deku seeds are the ammunition.
Deku seeds. That's what I'm saying. Deku nuts and Deku seeds. Okay, that's what I was thinking.
The seeds are the ammo for your slingshot. The nuts are the ones that stun your opponents.
And I believe, they get me every time. And if you hit those things, like if you hit them a certain way, they'll give you a stick, and if you hit them a certain other way, they'll give you a nut. So, and I think I go back to get a gold Skulltula or whatever.
I believe.
And these are actually very important for the game. They'll actually, I know one time they give you a wallet. I think twice they might give you a wallet.
And then I believe they also give you like the large. Or they give you the wallets, of course.
Yeah.
They give you several other benefits.
But these things right here, these tokens, these are actually very important because you can use them to get stuff later on in the game. And I think there's 100 maybe?
I think there's 100, exactly. Yeah. And they're scattered all throughout the game.
And so you do want to collect those as you go. And they'll usually make a sound. And I didn't notice, but if you're actually playing this on the N64, there's something you can get later in the game that makes the Rumble Pack rumble.
That's true.
When you get close to Ghost Skulltula.
And this was a nice new puzzle, I guess, for lack of a better word. In the older games, you had to use like your lamp or a fire wand to light torches.
Yeah.
And this one you use a stick.
Yeah. And if you have stick lit, if you swing your sword with B, it'll actually be able to keep that stick.
Yep.
So you won't use that stick. So if it's kind of run down to the very end, hit B, and you'll be able to hold that stick.
Otherwise, you have a finite number.
And actually, right there, that's very important. You actually want to hit the middle of that. If you land on the side of that web, you actually won't break it. So you want to get it as close to the middle as you can.
I thought that was a very innovative idea, just to show you get all the way to the top of the tree.
I do actually remember the first time I played this level or this dungeon, I got stuck on that part. I did not know what to do right there.
Yep. I thought it was a fun idea. Again, that sense of depth.
Now, it could be because I'm stupid, but it seems like a very easy concept now. But like when you play your first 3D dungeon, it just didn't click, I guess.
We all have those moments in Zelda games where it's so obvious.
It's so obvious, once you do it. Actually, I remember I got stuck on this part big time too, like where you're going to light the stick with fire.
That's right.
And jump over and hit the web. I actually got stuck on this part too. This room, the first time I played through this, wasn't a very fun room for me.
Yep. And again, like we mentioned, the Deku sticks can be used to light torches. They can also be used to light webs and catch them on fire to open up new areas.
As we'll do. Watch this first jump.
Uh-oh.
You cannot do this.
When you're Z-targeting, you're jumping.
You cannot do that. You have to just aim it and make a good jump here. Like I said, collect these things as you go along because they are very important.
There you go. Much better effort.
I know when you get your first 10 gold Skulltulas, you'll get your wallet. You can get to 200 rupees, which is actually very big. So now you can only get 99.
Ugh, which is just such a terrible
pain.
Moment.
It's a pain.
That is one adjustment from old Zelda games to new ones. Is the limited wallet.
Yeah, it's limited wallet that you got to get bigger ones.
Yeah. In the old Zelda games, you could get up to 999 rupees from the very beginning.
I liked it, but didn't like it because, you would get to 99 so much, and then you wouldn't be able to do anything after that.
But again, here you see we hit that switch to lower the water level so we could actually run across.
Actually, the water doesn't lower.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we hit that switch to light the torch.
That's right.
The torch is not lit, and like you see right there, if you use your sword, you actually save that stick.
Yep. And as you saw there, we use the stick to light the webbing, which opened up a new area of the dungeon, and that's a theme that pops up throughout the game.
Yeah.
Similar to
many lighting of the torches, like in Link to the Past. It's like that Link to the Past too. Is like a lot of torches. Yeah, the fire rod. Yeah.
Yep.
And this is where they'll tell you the order, like you need to beat the Deku scrubs later on, which I think is middle, right, left, the way they're ordered. It says, I don't remember.
So.
Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, but I know it goes middle, right, left. I don't remember what the order was on the numbers there, but I know it's definitely middle, right, left.
This is a nice touch too, where when you get to aim in the first person there, with right now the slingshot, later on with the bow. You see things like eyes and obstacles like that to open doors.
And remember that came off from Link to the Past when you got to shoot that eye in a statue to move certain walls.
That's
kind of where that idea came from right there.
And just made a good transition to 3D. That's
so just simple ideas carrying over. And there's a switch down here you'll have to dive for.
I always had a hard time with diving in this game.
You just gotta give straight above it.
Yeah.
And just hold down A, and you'll dive straight down.
Yep.
That's all you gotta do.
Sometimes when you have to swim to something underwater, though, it is a pain in the neck.
Yeah.
The swimming controls were never precise. Like you said, if it's something like a switch like that, you just go straight down. Just gotta line yourself up. And whatever you do, don't hit these enemies in the front. They bounce right back at you if you do. Wait till they turn around.
And they will hit you.
And block pushing puzzles, another theme of all Zelda games.
And that'll continue throughout all Zelda games.
And it's still fun.
It's still very important to this day in the newer Zelda games.
Yep. At least now you can actually climb on top of them, as you saw.
That's true. That is true. Yes.
That adds a whole new level to
being able to get to higher levels.
Yep.
I think they really did good with the whole 3D thing in the whole game. Just introducing like little aspects to it. Just really.
And I think
like that right there. Just you can push it and you can climb on. Just the whole new 3D aspect that really is very simple. Really not that complicated, but just some little things like that really kind of add things.
It's not something that existed in Zelda games.
Till then. Yeah.
Till then.
And if you were playing this game in '98 when it was new, like me and my partner did, it was. Stuff like this was just like simple things like that. They were revolutionary. They were just kind of neat, But the Nintendo 64 was a game changer. Period. So.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. I think between this and Mario 64, they showed that you can turn these games into amazing 3D games.
Oh yeah. I hate waiting on them. I just hate waiting on them that long.
But, like you said, they don't hit them when their face is showing you, because it will not do you any good.
Not sure where. Oh, we gotta burn the web again.
Yep. A common theme. I mean, when you're inside a tree that's infested with spiders.
Yes.
Burning webs.
You really didn't need to burn that part right there. I'm not sure why I even did burn that part right there. And this is like a mini enemy of what you will fight later on in the boss fight right there.
Yep. And you'll fight a few of the little ones in the boss fight too.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
I guess if you were running low on Deku nuts or Deku sticks, then getting in there was kind of good for you.
Yeah, that's true.
But literally, you burnt the web away.
I think I just lit the wrong run, to be honest with you.
Which, I mean, happens. There's several options in here.
2.
But I will say that
you got 50-50 chance of getting it right.
I feel like the map and the compass came in a lot more handy in this game than previous ones.
Oh, definitely.
It gave you the mini-map in the corner.
Yeah.
It shows where you are, where the exits are.
And if you don't know, the red dot on the map on the right is the door you just came in.
Yep.
So if you ever get confused, there's like 3 or 4 doors. That red dot is where you just came into the room. And you want to put this block down right here, or you have to go through all that over again.
Yep. But I think that having the mini-map there in the corner was a big addition to these games. I never felt like I used the maps that much in the older Zelda games. But this one, definitely.
And you want to push that block down, because if I'm not mistaken, the first time I played this game, I did not do that. And I did have to go through all that again.
Lesson learned. Because you have to be able to light your stick and carry it across without it going out on you.
And I am not sure if you have to swing the stick right here or not. I think or roll. You got to roll. I think you have to do that. I really do. Or just swing it. You probably just have to swing it with B.
Either way.
And this is where we'll hit the Deku scrubs in order, and it'll go middle, right, left. And I don't know what the number order that was.
2, 3, 1, maybe.
Yeah. I think it is 2, 3, 1.
But again, just use your shield to deflect their own projectiles right back at them. If you get the order wrong, do they just reset?
I think they just reset. That's all they do.
So it's not really.
No, it's really not dire. Yeah, just middle, right, left, or I think it is 2, 3, 1.
And honestly, I mean, there's only so many combinations of the three of them.
Yes,
so even if you didn't catch the hint, you should get it at some point.
I don't know, man. 3 Deku scrubs. There's a lot of different combinations right there.
6.
I'm not really sure. I'm not that good at math.
Yeah, never my strong suit.
There is a formula for calculating that, but I don't know what it is. That was college, man. I forgot all that stuff.
That's been a while.
I barely passed that class, if I remember correctly.
Here we are at the boss fight of the Great Deku Tree.
Pretty simple boss fight.
It's kind of fun, though, the way they have him. As you'll see when you look in this room, there's pillars all around the room, and then the ceiling, and this boss is able to...
And you actually got to look up to him to get to fight the boss. Like, you can walk around this room for a long time, but you got to look up to actually get him to fight you.
Yep. That eyeball is very important.
And then all you got to do is hit him in the eyeball and just hit him with a sword.
Goma. Yeah, as you mentioned earlier, there were some mini Gomas.
And you won't wait until the eye's red like that to hit him.
But you shoot the eye when it's red with your slingshot, and then you're able to go in there and just wail away with your sword.
And this is something I didn't pull off right here, but I've seen somebody else do it. When he gets up here on top of the ceiling, if you hit him when his eye's red with a slingshot, you can knock him down. Like you'll see right here, he drops the like the mini hymns or whatever you want to call them, mini me's. But you can knock, if you get a good slingshot right there on his red eye, you can knock him back down.
And then you won't even have to fight these little guys.
But if you don't do that, you do have to fight these guys right here. As you can see, it takes me a while to learn this. You do have to fight these guys to get him to drop down. And I'll get there eventually.
And honestly, if you're quick enough, you can kill a few of them before they even hatch.
Yeah. They'll be in balls, and you can hit them in balls, and they're a lot easier.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But you gotta kill these guys before he'll fall back down.
It helps when you Z-target them.
And you'll see next time I will hit them while they're balls, and it's a lot easier.
Yeah. But at least they drop hearts and things like that, so you're in good shape early on. But again, that Z-targeting is very handy.
Missed right there. Wait till his eye gets red. Shoot him. There you go.
There you go. Now he's stunned, ready for you to hack away at him. You get a good 5 or 6 shots.
Yeah, you do.
And if you're really
I've seen people use actually, sorry for interrupting, but I've seen people use the Deku stick right here, and I think it actually works better. If you use like the jumping tech with the Deku stick, I think it actually works better. So that's something to consider right there too.
There you see his eye red.
If you would hit him, if I had a better shot there, you could have knocked him off.
Yeah.
But if you don't pull that off, go hit these things right now while they're still like a ball or something.
Before they even hatch. Yeah. I've seen their eggs. I guess.
Yeah, I would think so too.
But that way they're not even enemies. They're just sitting there.
And this it's a pretty easy boss. You don't have to hit him too many times.
No. If you do ever have trouble trying to figure out what to do against a boss, sometimes you can ask Navi and she'll give you a little bit of help.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
For a boss like this, it's pretty straightforward.
But you will need her for later on.
She does come in handy, as annoying as she can be.
And that's the first 3D dungeon that we now completed.
It was pretty short, pretty simple, but it was a great introduction to some of the puzzles and concepts, I guess, that you'll be encountering.
And after you beat this one, you get to go out and like to the whole world of Hyrule, which is like this. That's really when this game took off. Is when you got to Hyrule Field for the first time and explored everything.
It is massive.